Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Cameron Porter. I'm 23 years old. I was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina. If anybody knows where that is, it's in the upstate. And I've lived in Florence all my life. I mean, we moved here when I was like a year old. So really haven't lived in Spartanburg, but that's where I was born. I graduated high school here in Florence in 2015, and I'm currently a barber student at a barber shop here in town called the Mailroom Barber Company. Um, Previously, I worked in our production company, which we manufacture like pomade for your hair and beard oil products. So I handled all the manufacturing of that for a really long time, and then my boss decided to get his instructor's license and asked me if I'd like to become a student barber. So I was like, sure, why not? So that's what I'm working on now, and I've really developed a love for it and a passion for cutting hair and helping people feel more confident about themselves. Student barbering is a really interesting career path because you really just have to get a permit and an instructor, and you can start on the floor doing a program called on the job training or OJT. This is an option other than cosmetology school or barbering school. They all work pretty much the same way. But with the OJT program, you're able to just start working in a shop under someone and really get to train and learn from them. It can be super nerve wracking. My first haircuts took me about 2.5 hours to do. So I had some folks come in that they'd get squirming in the chair, or their legs would fall asleep and that kind of stuff. But I was really fortunate to have a lot of friends come through and a lot of family members come through to get those first haircuts, so that they kind of understood the situation and how I was training. But it takes a long time because you are always fearful of wanting to cut somebody's hair too short or like mess something up. Um, so I'm super grateful for the people that have come through to to wait for that long and listen to me talk for 2 hours and try to keep them entertained while they're getting their haircut. Um, but it's a cool program. My instructor he's responsible for logging my hours, um, which is just hours in the shop, either doing book work or like doing actual haircuts. Um, so once I have worked 1,920 hours, I'll be able to go and go up to Columbia where the board of barber examiners are. And I have to perform a written test as well as a haircut and a shave. And after that, I'll be graded based off of how well I did, and I'll get my full license. So that's a little bit about me. That's what I'm doing right now for work. Um, I am 23 years old, but my favorite pastime is building Legos. That's something that I used to do as a child, and I kind of got back into it in the past couple of years. Um, Other than that, my free time, I like to play drums. I'm a contract musician, so I have a lot of opportunities to go play music in cover bands or go play at churches. If any of you guys are familiar with New Spring Church here in Florence, you've probably seen me there before. I play on Sundays. I play every Wednesday for the youth services, and I really like doing that. Something that most people don't know about me is that I actually love country music. Yep, and I play in some country music cover bands and have a good old time learning all those songs. So yeah, Legos and drums are about the only thing I do in my free time. I play Xbox some. That's something that I recently got back into, believe it or not. None of the multiplayer stuff though. I really just play like single player. I don't know, dorky stuff. But anyway, that's enough about that. Goal setting has been something that's kind of new to me because I've kind of gotten in the habit of just kind of coasting through life, doing one thing or the other. But I'm trying to be more active in like planning for my future, even though I'm in it. I got married in 2017, so my wife and I have been together for almost 4 years now, which is pretty crazy to think. We were 19, and we've loved it, and it's been great. But I have to keep remembering that there's more to come than just what's going on right now as a 23-year-old. So my goals, these are pretty quick goals that I just kind of wrote down while I was thinking about them a few minutes ago. Within the next 2 years, I hope to open my own barbershop, preferably in Charleston. Um, I would love to carry on the mailroom name that for the company that I work for now and open up a new shop. So my 2-year goal is to open my own barbershop and start a family. So my wife and I have talked a lot about having a kid, and we haven't quite done it yet. But once I get a barbershop open, I'm really hoping that that would be the next step that would kind of fall in line with that. Um, Within the next 5 to 10 years, so it's a long time. So it's a big goal, is to get out of student loan debt, which I have some student loan debt. My wife has some. In fact, my wife just started graduate school, so we're gonna have some more student loan debt. So that's my big one for the next 5 to 10 years. Just I've got hopes to be able to pay that off before too long. So doing what I have to, making the sacrifices financially, making the sacrifices with my budget to make additional payments and just try to knock that down as quick as I can. And then the other 5 to 10 year goal I have is to take on a barber student. So it's kind of hard to think about that now because I'm still a student myself and I've still got a lot of learning to do. But I think that would be a good next step for me is after I've got my full license to kind of go back and get my instructor's license, and then take on a student while all this learning is fresh in my mind, so that I can pass it along to somebody else and kind of use the tools that were presented to me that really helped me out to help somebody else learn. So those are my two big 5 to 10 year goals, and then 10 to 15 years. I mean, my only real goal long term is to be able to figure out a way that I can provide for my family, but not work myself to death at the same time. Um, I have a very workaholic personality, and it's been a blessing and a curse. But as I continue to get closer to my wife, and as we start to think about bringing a child into the world, one thing that I'm gonna have to be really, really intentional about is my time and my time management, and making sure that I'm working only certain hours, and I'm making sure that I have time for my family. So I'm also I'm really OCD. I'm a very organized person. I'm a very task oriented person, and I'm a very productive person, which again has been a blessing and a curse because it's a good thing because you're constantly working towards something, or you're constantly accomplishing things or getting things done. But it's a curse because sometimes you can get your identity kind of twisted up, and your self-worth being based off of your productivity, which is something that I've literally been working through over the past couple of weeks, is kind of unteaching myself that my value comes from the things that I'm able to accomplish with my hands, and taking more time for myself and more time to rest and that kind of stuff. So a big goal of mine is to be a 30, 40, 50-year-old that has been thinking for a long time and being really intentional for a long time about time management, so that I can spend lots of time with my family as well as provide for them. So yeah, those are my goals. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about me. I don't talk a whole lot, and I just wanted to kind of connect with you guys on that level. So you'll be seeing some more of my face in this mop of a haircut I got here. But I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. Yeah, so like I said, my name's Cameron. I'm glad to be able to connect with you guys, and I hope you guys are taking it easy. See ya.